Well, hello there. It's dull and miserable, and it's blowing a fair bit, but it is April, time of the showers. But anyway, how was your weekend so far? It's for us, it's Sunday afternoon, and yesterday, Saturday, I actually went out to a pub. I went to a country pub, and I took my CO2 meter with me, funnily enough, and I was measuring the CO2 as we were driving through the countryside. I had my hand out the window. I wasn't driving, Sarah was driving, because we were going to a pub, and I had a beer. Anyway, getting back to the CO2 story, the CO2 that I was measuring was 410 parts per million. As you know, the global average is 423 parts per million, which is not a lot really. It's a tiny, tiny fraction. But as you can see from that little bit of data, is that the plants have soaked up 13 parts per million of CO2 in their growing. So that's a good thing. CO2 is a good thing. If we got CO2 up higher, up to 5,000 parts per million, the plant life, we will be living in the Garden of Eden again. And as you know, here where I live in Yorkshire, we used to have grapevines, and we used to grow our own wine. Well, grow the grapes that made wine. Isn't that fantastic? But now, of course, we can't grow because of the weather. It's not such a good climate at the moment for growing such things, not like it was during the Roman times. But if you go down to the south coast, I do know of a winery down there, which is incredibly good. I've had a couple of bottles from there before. My father and I, this will be in the year 2010, my father and I went round one of the vineyards down there, and we had one of these microphone, headphone things that we were listening to as we were walking around. So that was quite interesting. I didn't realise that the grapes that grow on the vines for making wine have a higher sugar content than the grapes you get in the shop for eating. Yeah, big difference apparently. And they're very, very, they're very tart when you eat them. If you eat a wine grape, it's very tart. Anyway, so I digress. We went to a pub called the Railway Inn in New Ellaby. And what a horrible meal that was. I had a beef, feathered beef it was. Oh, it was burnt and dry and just horrid. The mashed potatoes that we had, James Martin would have thrown it back at them because it was dry as anything. No seasoning. It was very dull on the seasoning. It was obviously never seen a decent restaurant chef in action. But anyway, so I had a few beers, paid the bill and left. I didn't tip the staff there because the meal was so horrible. It's unlike that. We did have a couple of weeks ago. We went out to another restaurant, and it was absolutely superb. The beer, we had local guest beers, which actually made just the other side of the river actually. It was absolutely gorgeous. But yesterday's meal was a bit of a letdown. Anyway, so what else has been happening? I go back to work on the Tuesday. They've given me a hire car for 2 days to allow me to travel Tuesday night. I'm going to travel down and see my dear old mother on the south coast, and then I'm going to get up early morning Wednesday and then drive down to Falmouth, which is another long drive. So I'll have 2 5-hour drives. I know our friends in America are quite used to having 5-hour drives because America's so big, and of course England is really tiny compared to America, as you all know. But so anyway, we're going to have a 5-hour drive on Tuesday and then another 5-hour drive on Wednesday. And I've got to be on board ship at 4 p.m. So I'll try to get down there a little bit earlier. Anyway, so probably find somewhere nice to have a bite to eat. This is the only time that I'll ever have a McDonald's is when I'm travelling. I wouldn't normally have it because then I'll play havoc with your tummy. Anyway, so yeah, so that's my plans. I've got a little bit more editing to do on that trip I did to Suabil. I'm going to make some shorter cuts using the Pocket 3 camera. Just maybe make a couple of little videos to put it out there. I know the other one was 138 minutes long. It's rather a long video, and but I do it for the people who can't get out, people who have a fear of wide open spaces. That they tend not to go out, but they like to watch the videos online of places like this. So that's why I do the long videos. And of course, I did have. I'm pretty sure that she's passed away now. But one of my viewers was bedbound, and she used to watch all of these videos of the outside life. Give her, you know, it's better than watching a movie, because a movie you don't get to see real life in action, and that's what I was recording, a little bit of real life. Blimey, the sun's come out. We do like a bit of sun. Anyway, been doing a bit of the gardening. Did some of that yesterday afternoon before we went out. So yeah, I think we've done quite well on a budget. We've managed to get some cheap plants, and my mother sent me a little bit of money. She sent me £15. So we did go and buy 2 lots of alpine plants. We made the dog's bed up into a small memorial for the poor little dog. So that's doing quite well. Some of the plants Sarah was given, one of her work colleagues gave her some plants. So we put them in. They seem to have taken off now that they're planted, and yeah, we're doing quite well at the moment. But, yeah, I think I need to get, maybe when I come home next time, I'll have enough money to buy a few more slabs and put the plants on the slab, rather than putting it directly onto the mud that we had in the garden, or putting it onto the grass. Even with the little tiny feet, the feet sink into the ground, in a plant pot, that is. The feet sink into the ground, and the bottom of the pot is now sealed, so it just becomes waterlogged. That's one of the things about Hull. It's so dry during the summer months, and the winter months everything's like a bog. As we found, as we've been going past the farmers' fields yesterday, they're all soaking wet. They're all absolutely puddles that go on for meters and meters. These massive great puddles holding, it must be several tons of water. And of course the farmers can't grow anything in that, which is a shame, because it will impact the summer crops, because you can't grow in wet soil. Unless, of course, you're growing rice in a paddy. Anyway, so that's enough of my blog. I think I've gone up to 8 minutes. Well, I might as well go on, because I won't be putting the mid-term adverts in. As you know me, I'd rather not make you go through the mid-term adverts. I know YouTube will probably want me to put the mid-term adverts in, but yeah, they're not paying me as much as I thought they would. Per 1,000 views, so yeah, that's why I'm not sticking them in. And of course, for your viewing pleasure, I don't put the mid-term adverts in. Anyway, waffled on again. So I'm just going to sit here for a little bit, and I'll probably download this to my iPad in a minute. Oh yes, a big shout out to a friend of the channel who sent me a book on the UFO sightings in Wales. I won't hazard a guess at the name of that place. Pendrake. I'm terrible with pronouncing some of these names, so do forgive me. Anyway, rambled on, getting on for 9 minutes, so I'll catch you all on the next one. Camera's going in the suitcase in a minute, so that'll be the last video you get until I get back on board ship, and then you're going to get plenty more videos of my sea voyage. Okay, catch you later. Bye then. There we are. That's a little view of my garden. I thought I'd stick this on as a bonus footage for you. Yeah, so over there, that's the, where's my finger? There's a memorial for the dog in his dog bed. So we turned it into a plant pot. Yeah, I know Sarah's still suffering from the loss of her dog. It was so quick. It really was quick. We had no time to get used to the idea of him not being around. But anyway, so that's it. I will catch you on the next one. See you then. Bye then.